So ask the important question, what does life mean to you? Is life about working that job? Is life about going to university, getting that degree? Is life about fulfilling everyone's expectations of you? Is it about getting a mortgage? Is it about creating a family? Is life about living how society wants you to live? I don't think it is. I think it's fucking bullshit. Life isn't about other people's expectations of you, and you should never live life because someone else wants you to live life through their fucking eyes. You have one shot and one chance at this fucking thing. Just because your family you want to honour your family by going to university and getting an education so you make your grandparents happy. Fuck that. What has your grandparents being happy got to do with your fucking life? What has any of this got to do with your life? Getting a mortgage. Why do you have to do this? Because society tells you to get a mortgage? So what the plan is, you're going to save up all this money and you're going to invest in a house, and you're going to spend the next 40 fucking years paying for a house where, you could end up divorcing your wife and lose half of it anyway. Or the bank could take it, the crush could happen, and you lose everything. And then what have you got left? All you've got left is regret, and all you've got left is dreams, what you let die. Everyone from being a kid has a dream and has something they want to do with their lives, but you let negativity get in your way, and negative people you allow into your subconsciousness, and this can happen so easy. It can be your wife, it can be your family, it can be your friends, but you need to be true to what is inside here. Always be true to what is inside your heart. Never fucking listen to somebody's expectations of you, because someone's expectations do not have to become your reality. You have your own path and your own journey to walk. And yes, you will fall, you will stumble, you'll fall flat on your fucking ass. It will happen. Life isn't easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But understand that life is just a roller coaster, and it has its ups and downs. And at the end of it, you get off the roller coaster and you say, wow, what a fucking ride. But you have to understand, whenever you are in a down, there will be an up. When you're in an up, there will be a down. This is life. Life is the biggest teacher. You can't get a lesson of life going to school, reading the fucking textbook. This will not give you the life experience you need. Someone can tell me, oh, I've got a degree in this, this, and this, and this. Whip do you fucking do? Shove your paperwork up your fucking ass. If you haven't got life experience, then what do you have? You're living this comfortable life where you don't want to fulfill yourself and fulfill the true potential what is inside you, and instead you create a spiritual imprisonment. And when you create a spiritual imprisonment, you can't even look at yourself in the eyes. Then you realise that not only can you not look at yourself in the eyes, is that you have these prison bars in front of you. But when you create a spiritual imprisonment, you need to understand you are also the gatekeeper. You also have the keys to unlock the prison door for you to escape. And you need to do this, because without fulfilling your true potential, your dreams, your desires will die on the deathbed. When you take your last breath, all the regret you're going to have for the things you didn't do because you didn't want to offend someone, you didn't want to upset somebody. Upset them, upset everyone. Because by upsetting people, at least you are fulfilling what you want to do. And at least the people who are supposed to be around you will still be around you. They understand why you're doing this. Like I've said before, people are like weeds, and you as a human have to blossom them into the most beautiful flower you can. You cannot do this with weeds surrounding you. So it doesn't matter who this is. You've got to cut ties with people. You have to offend people. With being yourself, you have to be real. Don't live in a world where your life is dictated by priests, by religion, by schools, by teachers. Take a fucking chance. Dip your foot into the ocean and then throw your whole body in and realise that it's just water. Realise that you will swim. You will come back to the top. Life is about jumping off the fucking edge into the unknown, but having the belief in your heart that you'll come back up the other side. Life isn't about living how other people want you to live. It never has been. It never has been. Do what you feel right is in your heart. Follow your gut instinct. Meditate. Become back to your true self. Don't live life because somebody else is telling you what you can and cannot do and how you should think. Someone calls you stupid, so fucking be it. Let them think you're stupid. Let them think you're dumb. Fulfill what you feel your desire and your main objective is of life, man. Because you've only got one shot at this, and every single one of us is heading for the same way. Whenever you say, I'm going to do this thing tomorrow is a day closer to death. Always remember that. You should have done what you're going to do tomorrow yesterday. Start taking chances, start taking risks, and if you fall flat on your ass, at least falling flat is still moving forward somewhere. Done.